We're taking honey today. This is my super I've taken off the hive. This is one of the frames I've taken out. If you look, you can see that there's honey. It's been capped over. This side doesn't have quite as much. We're going to take this hot knife. We're going to run down here, uncap it. Then we're going to put it in the extractor, spin it around like spinning out, well, like making ice cream we used to do. And all the honey is going to sling out to the inside of this thing. It's going to run down. Then I'm going to open this valve and put it in the jars. First thing I've got to do is uncap this. I have to have something to catch it in. So I've got this thing right here. This knife has been plugged in. It's hot. And I just run it along and uncap the honeycomb. None of it goes to waste. That's why I'm catching it in this bowl so that I can get it and eat it on biscuits and cornbread. That's the only way you can do it. Eat it on biscuits and cornbread. I think that's a federal law. I'm not sure, but I think it is. Now this goes in the extractor. And I've got to have another one to go in the other side. And there'll always be a few bees left in there. So be careful when you pick these up because you may grab a hold of a bee. And be careful when you do this that you don't run the knife up against your finger, because it's not that hard to do. You just have to be aware. See if I can get my worthy assistant to step on that wire for a second. And I'll unplug this thing. Can you hold that wire for me? Just stand on it. Thank you very much. Now this goes, my extractor is a 2-frame extractor. The open side goes to the outside. Now, here's the best part. I get to lick the honey off my fingers. And then the extractor, you just start turning it. Make sure that valve is closed before you do that, obviously. You can see that one frame has a little more honey in it than the other because it's thrown this off balance.
How long do you usually have to turn it? How long do you usually have to turn it?
You just have to check the frames and see how much honey's left in it. And you can't do it too fast. Can't spin it too fast because the other side of the frame has got honey in it and it will collapse the frame if you're not careful. So you got to take your time spinning it. Have a look in here. Starting to run down the sides. There's still honey in the frames. So I'll spin it a little bit longer. Maybe even a little bit faster. Now we're in the shop today. I've got it all closed up because as soon as I open up this honey and the bees smell it, they will go tell their compadres and you will be fighting a bunch of bees. So right now there was about 5 or 6 bees still in the hive, in the super that I took off. And I don't want any more bees in here to fight. So that's why I've closed up the shop. Let's have another look and see how we're doing. Doing pretty good. So what I'm going to do is take the frame out, and you can see we did not get all the honey. But we're going to go back and try to capture some of that. I need to plug this back in and do the other side. May still be hot enough to open them up. Now this doesn't have any honey in it that's been capped off, so I'm going to spin it and see what I can get. Let me leave that there and put this back in. Now this one is full of honey on the other side. If you step on that wire again, hold her down. Now, because I've taken most of the honey out of the opposite side, I can spin this a little bit faster. In fact, it will be more sturdy if I do this. And then what I'll do is reverse those frames again and spin it and get out of the other side. See how we're doing here. Oh, see how much cleaner the second side is than the first side? So we'll reverse that. Second side is almost done, so we'll go back to the first side and do that one again. Now we can go fast because there's no honey to collapse the honeycomb. Pretty clean, pretty clean, pretty clean, pretty clean. I'm going to ask you the video down inside here. I don't know what you can see inside, but if you look all the way down at the bottom, all the way down to the bottom, you see honey down in there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but let me see if I can tilt it toward the light. I don't know if it's going to be able to see that or not, but there's about an inch or so of honey down in the bottom. I think I've got about all I can get out of these, so I'll go to the next ones. Being careful not to grab a hold of a bee. But the other thing I'd like to do is hold that up to the sunlight. Let you look at how golden, pure, clear that honey is. And it depends on what they make the honey out of as to what color it is. But that looks like orange juice almost.
I want to show how to tap what you have in there.
Let's turn that off. We'll start another one.
Okay.